Hey, Fresh Coast gamers. Oscar and I shot a bat rep yesterday at Gamer Sanctuary, but the intro clip got mangled somehow. So this is our brand new introduction. He and I are going to play in our first. What you're going to see, let me rephrase, is Oscar and I playing in our first game of Warhammer 40k 8th edition together. 100 power levels. His Orks versus my Harlequins. So I have just about everything on the table that I can muster for my Harleys at the moment. Hey, Natty, how you doing? Good. What are we working on for you? We've got a little Imperial Guard army we're building for you, don't we? Yeah, you've got her toughest girls of the galaxy, raging hero stuff, right? They're cool. All right, so we'll see that stuff like in the distant future because we're still learning the game, right? Yeah. But Oscar's a pro. Game. It was a good game. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Well, like I said, I have nearly everything that I own for my Harlequins on the table. I have a Death Jesters unpainted. Sorry about that. A couple guys who were on base, and I'm still working on the jet bikes and the last transport. I'm waiting for 2 more Void Weavers. That should round out everything I want to get for these guys. So let's start with some HQ choices. I have a Troop Master Fusion Pistol Power Sword, 2 Shadow Seers, one with Neuro Disruptor. I haven't decided their powers yet. Probably going to be Mirror of Minds and Fog of Dreams on them. I have a Solitaire, 1, 2, 3 Death Jesters, 3 troops. Everything is completely WYSIWYG. 2 Fusion Pistols, 2 Harlequin Kisses in this group. This group has 1 Fusion Pistol, 2 Embraces, 1 Kiss. And then the Rainbow group over here has got Neuro Disruptor and Harlequin Kiss, 2 Embraces, 2 Caresses, 2 Kisses, and 1 Fusion Pistol. Transports are stock. Jet bikes, I have 2 Zephyr Glaives and 2 Star Bolus in each. Star Bolus ones both have Shuriken cannons. Zephyr Glaives both have Haywire cannons, and a Prism cannon on the Void Weaver. So it's 100 power points exactly. I don't know exactly how many match play points it's going to be, but we kind of like power levels, and we're not jerky about all the upgrades we put on things to make it really ridiculous. Otherwise, like I've said before, I could do all Fusion Pistols and Caresses with everybody and just be really, really broken. But we don't play that way. So let's see what Oscar's got for his Orks. So here we have Oscar's Ork Horde. He's going to be trying the Green Horde style out today. He's got 30 boys in that mob. I have 36 models total in my army. So yeah, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at the moment. 30 boys are his first troop choice. Knob, Power Claw, 3 big shooters in the squad. Those are all Sluggas and Choppas. And he's got 2 truck boy squads. They all have shooters, so they're going to just be doing drive-bys. Knobs again with Power Claws, big shooters in the squad. There's a Daka Jet with 6 Daka, or whatever they're called. What are they called, Oscar? Super shooters. Super shooters. 2 trucks, Wrecking Balls in both. He actually, I have 1 battalion detachment. He's got, or is it brigade? I can't remember. Whatever the smaller one is. He has a brigade and a spearhead detachment. So his brigade detachment. Battalion detachment, excuse me. War Boss, Weird Boy. War Boss is Power Claw, Attack Squig. Weird Boy is just stock. And they also have Zagstruck, who is brutal, leading 10 Storm Boys, not with the Power Claw, of course. There are 10 Ludas as well. Then the big guns, 3 big guns. He's stolen 3 of my rapiers to be zap guns, so that should be fun for him. He's never used those before, and that's a great way. Like every army kind of has a way to squeak a point in there. 1 big gun is 2 power points, but it's only a single point to add an additional gun. So he's got 3 there for 4 points, which is pretty good. The Spearhead detachment though has a Big Mech, Power Claw, Custom Mega Slugga, and the Custom Force Field with a Def. Oh, and a Grotto Oiler, yeah. And there's a Def Dread with 2 Scorches, which again, anytime you can load 2 Scorches on something, do it, because he can now move, advance at the same time, fire the Scorches, which auto hit. I don't care about that negative penalty, and then charge, because if he's within 6 inches of the War Boss, he gets to do a wah charge. And then 3 Killicans, each one is WYSIWYG. There's a Big Shooter, Grotzuka, and a rocket launcher in them. And then to round out the rest of the Spearhead detachment, there's a Bubble Chukka, which I think Oscar is going to include in every single Ork army he ever builds.
I'm never
because they're just super awesome and fun. Yeah, super awesome fun randomness. So that's it, 100 power points worth of green skins. That's a lot of models. Fortunately, I do have some good anti-infantry fire, and I can whittle through them in combat, but I still got to pick and choose where I go. So we've already got the table set up, we got a mission rolled up, and we're going to start getting deployment in just a minute. All right, so here we have a shot of the table. Nice and balanced terrain set up like we like for our games. We have Dawn of War deployment. I chose that because Oscar tried to pack this quarter of the table with as many of the objectives as he could. There's one here. There's one there. I put one here and here, and then you followed me with your last two right there and there. So yeah. Yep. Anyway, so we've got objectives 3, 2, 6, 5, all in this half of the table. Objective 1, Oscar put right in the top of the building. And then I kind of tried to balance it up by putting objective 4 in the woods here. So I got to deploy first. As you can see, I've just got my transports and my vehicles in the middle. All my characters are in, which one? They're all in this one? No, they're in this one. They're in the unpainted one. Troop here. Bikes way on the flanks just to harass the edges. And the troop on foot right here. Oscar's got his Storm Boys next to the truck with his Weird Boy in it, so he can possibly use Warpath on them. Big Mech is in the other truck, hanging out with some boys there, so he can possibly jump out and fix some killer cans in the middle, maybe the Death Dread if it's close enough. Flyers starting up here on the table. Now, Oscar and I are going to use the basic rules for flyers, even though we kind of like the advanced rules. We're going to give these a real honest shot and maybe just decide if it's just the Storm Raven that's unbalanced or if it's all flyers, so we're unbalanced with that 360 arc. But starting in the corner a lot is going to allow him to turn and kind of jink and juke and stay on the table and, gradually target lots of stuff with that 360 arc. So we'll see if that helps. His zap guns are right there on the crates. Mech gun, Bubble Chuck is right here. And then the big old green horde with the War Boss is way on that side, and the Ludas are in the building. Getting a nice field of fire on everybody. So I finished deploying first, duh. I mean, Oscar's got a lot of units. So he's going to try to steal the initiative. However, I forgot to mention, we are playing the Deadlock scenario. So we're going to start with 6 objectives and go down. So Oz, if you want to try to sneak the first turn away from me, go for it. You got a 5. Now, you may use a command point on that if you'd like, or you can just allow me to have the first turn. I got the first turn. All right, top of turn 1 coming up. So turn 1 for the Deadlock mission, I draw my 6 objectives. These are the 3 I was not able to achieve. Assassinate, which is always hard turn 1 with characters being able to hide behind units. Behind enemy lines, which I had a chance to get there with my jet bikes if they had managed to get in combat, but they failed. And defend objective 2, which you can't do in 1 turn because you got to stay there for 2 turns. These are the ones I did get though. I got secure 6. Supremacy and area denial. Supremacy, jet bikes came up here, grabbed that objective, shot at the Storm Boys and the Death Dread, did a couple mortal wounds with Haywire Cannons and the Dread, and between that and the Death Jester in here, using a Shrieker round on them, killed 7 of the Storm Boys, but they don't care because Zag's truck is nearby and he's telling them that they automatically pass morale. These Harleys just ran up, got a bad run roll. Over here, the Void Weaver tried to shoot at the truck, and only did, I think, 2 wounds to it. Yeah, 2 wounds, that's it, not much. And those were both with the Stricken Cannons, so I missed the Prism Cannon round. But he's holding objective 6, scoring me a point, and my 2nd Supremacy objective. The 3rd Supremacy objective I grabbed was right here with both the transports. And then they killed combined 9 of the boys, along with some of the Stricken Cannon shots from the jet bikes. My wound rolls were terrible. The new wound chart has really not helped me much. Normally, with the 7th edition, I'd be wounded on 2s, but I'm wounded on 3s, and I rolled lots of 1s and 2s. Over there, especially, my transport, I think, rolled 5 1s and 2s, and I only hit 1 time on the Storm Boys. Bad. And then these guys, again, same thing. I think tried to drop a wound off of the truck and failed. Or no, did they take a wound off the truck? No. Nope, they didn't. Okay, never mind. But that boy mob is still at 21 boys, so they're going to get the bonus attack when they charge. The Death Dreads just scratched some paint off. Storm Boys, that hurt, but there's still a unit there. So I did manage to roll really super high, though, on my objectives. So I got 2 points for this one and 3 points for this one. With area denial, I had to keep Oscar 6 inches away from the center of the table to get 1 point, or 12 inches away to get D3, and in the first turn of the game, you were deploying more than 12 inches away from the center. So
They should make that decision.
that, I think, yeah, that should be one of those ones just like Hold the Line where it says you can't score at turn 1. Anyway, it doesn't, so I got a whopping 6 points in turn 1, but that's how Deadlock plays sometimes. You just get a ton of points early on. So Oscar's going to try to roll me off the table in one turn. See if he can do it. So Oscar's turn was pretty good. Orks can be pretty cool when they throw in buckets of dice. Let's start with his objectives. He got overwhelming firepower, no prisoners, scour the skies, secure objective 4, secure objective 6, and secure objective 1. Again, these are the ones he's completed, though. He managed to get 4 of the objectives, which is pretty good. 6 is... where did 6... Where's objective 6?
Way back in there.
Oh, it's the one I'm sitting on with my Void Weaver. So yeah, that's not helping him at all. And then secure 1 is the one he put way up here on top. So nobody was going to grab that this turn. But he managed to wipe out my Harley squad right there on foot with the Daka Jet. 18 shots, hitting on 4s was pretty good. Zagstruck and his buddies in the truck jumped in there, shot at, along with doing D6 mortal wounds from the Weird Boys smite, which was really cool. Killed the jet bike outright. 3 more wounds from Blacken, the Death Dread. That was awesome, because being able to run and fire flamers is cool. The awesome rolling we did with the Bubble Chucka, which ended up being Strength 4, AP 1, 5 damage, and 6 shots, did nothing.
I think all ones and 2s except 1 6.
Lots of missing on shots because of my Mirage launchers. Same thing with over here with the Grots and the truck. But the boys charged in on the Starweaver transport here and wrecked it and killed 2 of my guys in the process. And the War Boss charging on the bikes over here killed 1 outright, but then took 3 wounds in return, so that was pretty bad. So he's in trouble, possibly. I'm going to hit and run out, of course, with a whole lot of stuff. So we're going to move into turn 2. Oscar managed to get 4 points from his objectives, came close. All he needed to do was kill that last jet bike, and he could have gotten no prisoners 3 times for another for D3 points instead of 1, but just was not to be.
First blood.
And first blood. So Oscar got 4 objectives in first blood for a grand total of 5 points. Are you discarding a card? Secure 1 or secure 6?
Bye by 1.
1? You don't think you'll get that with your Storm Boys eventually?
I don't feel
No? Okay, you think you got a better chance of getting 6 than you do 1?
I don't feel I can get either.
Okay, cool. All right.
I'm just gonna discard.
And it's not a terrible idea because you can always, you're going to draw 5 cards at the beginning of your turn. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually get 2 more to start turn 2. So I like to go big or go home, and when I get an opportunity to do it, I do. Unfortunately, I didn't. I really had to make some shenanigan-y stuff happen this turn to get it done. So I drew Assassinate. I think I had that still. I have it behind enemy lines, defend objective 2 still, Assassinate, advance, and then I drew Priority Orders Received, which means that my Warlord has to be the guy to actually secure an objective. Whatever the card says that I draw next, I have to do. Of course, the next card I draw was Dominate. Control all 6 objectives on the table. Now, we all know Harlequins are fast enough to be able to do that if they also can clear a hole. I had 2 big groups I had to clear out. Actually, 3 now that I think of it. So I had a Starweaver come flying back here to grab this one. Death Jester jumped out and grabbed that one. Void Weaver came flying upstairs to grab that. Because they fly, they can sit in the buildings. They can sit in the ruins. Harleys jumped out of the transport here, shot at and charged the truck. Didn't kill it, but I managed to put enough models around it to be able to have more models within 3 inches of the objective right there. So I hold that one too. Tried to assassinate the Weird Boy with the Skyweavers. Failed. Down to 1 wound on the Skyweaver. But the big action again happened right here in this part of the table. That big old boy mob, 21 boys, got shot up big time and then charged. Everything I had here charged into it. The Troop Master finished him off for the most. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The Shadow Seers did most of the heavy lifting in that. Really did some serious damage. And then, I killed 19 of the models in there. There's no way they were going to survive the battle shock from that. And they didn't have anyone close enough for the War Boss to knock heads against because they were right up next to my Troop Master. So yeah, killed all those boys right there. Troop Master consolidated onto the objective. Everyone else consolidated away to give him that objective. And then the Solitaire wiped out the Ludas exactly. There were 6 Ludas in the building after I was done shooting, and that's all they had left. He did exactly 6 wounds. The bikes charged into the War Boss, though, tried to finish him off and get really cripple Oscar's attack over here, but failed to hurt him at all, and he took out a bike in return with the attack squig chomping down on that last wound. So they're still spinning over here. Oscar is really hurting on points, though, because I managed to get 10 points that turn. I got 3 points plus D3, which I, of course, rolled a 6 on for domination. Then I got 3 bonus points for having my Warlord grab one of the objectives on Priority Orders Received. 9 points just for that. Actually, I'm sorry, I got 11 points because I also had defend objective 2, which is the second turn in a row I've held it. So 11 points for me, but I didn't manage to get anything else. Assassinate, failed to kill characters. I had to get these guys back in my deployment zone to grab those objectives, so I couldn't get advance. And then behind enemy lines, I don't have anybody within your deployment zone because I had to consolidate back again on the objective here, and the same thing with the jet bike. He's stuck in combat, so nope, couldn't grab that either. But Oscar's really not feeling good right now. I am up 17-5, and he's 12 points to go, but you can always table me, and you still got more than enough to do it. Moving into the bottom of turn 2. So, Oscar had a couple good cards, and he had a good chance to get a couple points back, but didn't quite get what he wanted. He did get Kingslayer and managed to kill my Troop Master with a massive amount of slug of fire from the boys who jumped out of their truck. The boys then jumped in to try to kill some Harleys and Death Jester. Didn't do a whole lot, though. Death Jester's down to 2 wounds, 2 Harleys left in the squad. Nobody died from battle shot. The Big Mac jumped out, shot at, and charged the Shadow Seer. Did 2 wounds to her with his shot, but... I'm sorry, 2 wounds in combat with a Power Claw. But that was it. Took a wound back in return. The War Boss is down to a single wound from the jet bike. He did kill another one, but that jet bike is left at 1 wound because of the squig. So I might actually take me out a War Boss with a jet bike. That'd be pretty cool. Over there, though, the DACA jet tried to take out the Death Jester, dropped 4 of his wounds. So he's got 1 left, still contesting objective 6, which is great for me, not good for Oscar. He couldn't get anybody closer to actually drop shots on the Death Jester because he had to shoot up at the transport up there. Did a couple wounds to that. So this side of the battlefield is still pretty... I think I still got everything under control over here. But over here, I've lost it. I have nothing left. Because Zagstruck and the Storm Boy and the Dreadnought and the boys all ganged up on my transport, my Death Jester, and the troop I had there, and just wiped them out. The Weird Boy smoked down my jet bike, and then Oscar rolled double 5s and double 6s with the Bubble Chukka. Still didn't actually kill anything with it, though, but it was really terrifying to have 6 straight 5 AP 6 shots that did 5 damage apiece. Terrible. Terrible. He shot him at the Death Jester, but didn't manage to do a single thing to it. So that's it. Being able to advance out of combat is really what made that turn happen over here for Oscar. He was able to just back that truck up, get it out of there so that he could shoot my troop to pieces, which is pretty much what he did. Shot at, charged in, grabbed the objective. So he did manage to get a couple more points, but 3 more points this turn, because he got Warlord and Kingslayer and then secured this objective. So he has 8 points to my 17. I'm still kind of running away with it, but I'm not feeling great about my ability to keep that lead after a couple turns. I got to survive. That's really the thing. So I might just hide a character somewhere on the board where he can't get him. That Solitaire standing on the roof might be my saving grace. That guy way over there. That's it. All right, turn 3 coming up. Top of turn 3, I managed to draw some pretty good cards. I still had Behind Enemy Lines and Assassinate. Actually, Behind Enemy Lines and Advance is what I had. I drew Master of the Warp and Assassinate, and I accomplished all 4 of them this turn. Everything got out of my zone to get Advance. I managed to harness the Warp only twice. I failed 2 of my powers, which was not good, to give me the extra D3. And I killed 2 of Oscar's characters, including his War Boss. So I did manage to get 5 points total. Killed the Big Mech as well, but couldn't get anything over there to shoot at the Weird Boy. So that was not going to happen for me. Or Zagstruck. So they were nice and safe behind other targets. My Death Jester jumped in here to keep Oscar from finishing him off. So he's hiding out in that transport, and then everything jumped on the Big Mech to kill him as well. I had a jet bike charge into one of the Grot Gunner groups and only tied up 1 cannon, because even though you buy them as a group of 3 or however many you get, once you deploy them, they're separate units. I can only tie the 1 cannon up. So he actually put the only 2 wounds I dealt on the cannon, which is still functional. So that really didn't do much. But he did nothing in return, predictably, because they're Grots. Solitaire failed to charge. They both failed to charge and are sitting out in the open. So I got a whole bunch of characters out in the open for Oscar to kind of come at with his Killicans and DACA Jet. And he's got lots of bullets to go my way. That truck as well. So I do have 22 points to Oscar's. What did you have? 8? So point-wise, it's still pretty one-sided, but it's only the bottom of turn 3 right now. So Oscar's got a good chance to catch up and even table me. Alright, so we're going to start over here. Oscar paid me back a little bit by smiting down my transport. It then blew up, did a mortal wound to Zagstruck and the truck. So the truck is now going to be a little slower. That's not what Oscar needs. He needs to get that truck on the other side of the table. He's just got nowhere to go with the mech guns and the big guns to get him out of his deployment zone. So he's actually going to discard the advance card at the end of the turn. And we're moving this way. The truck came over here to grab Objective 6 and put a couple wounds on the transport with its Wrecking Ball. He tried valiantly to get Assassinate, which he drew. Did 2 wounds to that Shadow Seer with the Dakajet. 2 more wounds to that one. She's left with 1. He's got 3, but not enough. Did manage to kill, what was it? Oh, the jet bike. Killed the jet bike with the...
Because he moved out of combat.
Yep, you retreated. You fell back with that one cannon, which is a smart move, even though he can't do anything this turn. It was smart to keep him alive. And then you open up the jet bike to be shot at. What killed him, though? I think it was the big shooter. Wasn't it the big shoot over here that did the final wound? Yeah, that's right.
And then those 2.
Yep. And then they shot in at the Shadow Seer to do 2 more wounds with the Gotzuka. But failed to charge. That hurt. 7-inch charge is all I needed. Failed that. That would have helped. But we're going to go now into the top of turn 4. I'm going to draw 3 brand new cards and hopefully try to do something to make it hard for Oscar to table me. That's really all I'm looking for. So turn 4 coming up. So I drew Secure Objective 2 and Secure Objective 3. I jumped one Shadow Seer upstairs to grab that, and the other one stayed outside just so I could smite down the Dakajet, and I did in a big way. I hit it twice with Smite for 6 wounds, and another time with my Phantasm Launcher for another 2 wounds. I did 8 mortal wounds to the Dakajet, and then managed to shoot it down with Shuriken Cannon shots from Death Jesters. And that was it. So yeah, Dakajet crashed and burned. Didn't blow up and kill anybody though, which is good for me. And the Solitaire ran through one group of Grotz cannons, and then I shot another one. I managed to kill one of the cannons actually with some Shuriken Cannon fire as well. So, by the way, Death Jesters and the 2 Harleys are both in the transport, and that's it. So, managed to get 2 more points that turn, which is nice. It gives me 24, and Oscar's got 10. So we're gonna move into the bottom of 4 and see if Ozzy can get those killer cans up to a position where they can actually hurt me, and then he's got to get the rest of his guys from that half the table over here. Bottom of 4 coming up. Bottom of 4, Oscar finally got the killer cans to do something. They charged in, and one of them hit the Shadow Seer 4 times, excuse me, even though needing 5s to hit. Brutal stuff. Failed enough. Failed 1 save. That's all I needed to do 3 damage. 3 damage a piece on those 2. Pretty good. And then the other ones did only 1 hit got through on the transport. Dropped it down to 1 wound, so it's still alive. Zagstruck managed to jump upstairs to get that objective for 1 point. He got behind enemy lines for another one with the truck here, and then Assassinate killed the character. So Oscar cleared his hand this turn, which is pretty good. Turn 5 coming up. I get to draw 1 card. Yeah, I did forget to mention this other thing. My Solitaire is no longer there because it was just within 36 inches of the Bubble Chucka's range. Oscar rolls. What'd you roll?
6, 5, 5, and...
A 6, wasn't it?
No, 6, 5, 5, and 3.
Yeah, something, 1 bad roll.
6, 5, 5, and 3.
Yeah, he put the AP on the 3. Okay, so it doesn't matter. And then, so it was 6 shots. Oh, I'm sorry, I made it 5 shots at strength 6 damage each against the Solitaire. He hit me 5 times, and I failed 3 saves. So he did 18 wounds to the Solitaire. Yeah, he crushed him into this little ball. And that was the Grotz are kicking around playing basketball. We gotta do that. I'll get one of my old dread balls out for your Grotz to start kicking around like a soccer ball, and that's my Solitaire. No? Yes. Okay. All right. So that was it. So that was a cool piece of luck. He couldn't kill a 3rd character though, which is really what he wanted to do. Anyway, 24 to 13 is the score. My turn 5 coming up. So yeah, I drew defend objective 1 and scour the sky. So everything for me was going to end up being right there. Problem is I couldn't get my transport close enough to actually shoot Zagstruck and not have to shoot the truck or the Killicans or something else. So I just brought it upstairs. The Death Jesters inside unloaded on him because they can shoot him, dropped him to 1 wound, but he's still alive. Shadow Seer then did Smite and Phantasm Launchers and charged him with their Misstaff and managed to kill an entire Killican all by herself, and the others did nothing in return. So they didn't do anything. I didn't get a point, but I'm holding on to this. I'm going to discard that this turn. Next turn I'm only be down to that 1 card. Anyway, And that's it. So we're going to move into the bottom of 5. Oscar's going to see if he can't try to finish me off. Got a transport with 1 wound left. It's got a couple guys with 1 wound each. Yeah, let's draw your cards, kiddo. Let's see what you do. 2 cards. So Oscar actually had a pretty good turn of shooting, which is not what he needed. He drew blood and guts and defend objective 1. So Zag Struck just moved downstairs to get a little closer in case for next turn. But he's got to hold that for 2 turns now. The truck came around the corner. Weird Boy jumped out and smoked my transport to death. And then shooters, sluggers, everything, big shooters from trucks and whatnot, all killed the Harlequins and the 2 Death Jesters up on top of the platform. So they're all dead. But I made my invulnerable save with the Shadow Seer, so Oscar didn't table me. Managed to even do 2 wounds on his Killer Can. So Oscar's going to roll to see right now if the game ends. If it does, it's going to be, what is it? We said 24-13 is the score. It'll be, and he'll have a point for Linebreaker, so it'll be 24-14. But if the game goes on, he's got a chance to table me. Go ahead. Game goes on with a 6.
Yeah.
All right, which is exactly what he needs. So top of turn 6 coming up.
Let's go.
So my gambit didn't work. I should have just ran away, but he had a lot of speed he could have chased me down with, and I wasn't feeling good about it. So I tried to jump out, smite Phantasm Launcher, then charge back in and try to kill those Killer Cans. I managed to get Fog of Dreams on them as well, so they were going to hit me on 6s anyway. Only dropped that guy down to 1 left, and so it wasn't enough. Yep, that was Smite. My Phantasm Launcher, I rolled a 3 on the damage roll. Not enough. I'm sorry, on the wounding roll. And then when I charged in, I didn't do jack. And no command points left at the end of the game, so couldn't reroll. Oscar got 1/6 in to hit me back. It wounded on a 3, which is what he needed, and then I rolled a 3 for my invulnerable save and died. So, yeah, 3 wounds apiece with those Killer Cans. Killer Cans! Back to the match. They were the models of the match, I think.
I really like the Killer Cans.
Killer Cans were pretty good.
Killer Cans and the plane.
Then the jet, yeah, the jet was a lot of fun
And the
too.
Bubble Chucker.
And of course the Bubble Chucker. The killing the Solitaire with the Bubble Chucker was
I
just
am never playing Orks
miserable.
without using the Bubble Chucker.
Yeah. Anyway, so Oscar actually managed to defend objective 1.
Something like Shadow.
And blood and guts here. So we got another 3 points from cards, which put you at, what did we say? 13, 16, 17 points for Linebreaker to my 24. So I still would have had 24 points, but I'm tabled. I got nothing left. So that's it. It seems like the key to beating Harlequins is just throwing tons and tons of dice at them. And yeah, and the low general wound count of everything is also not helpful. I got a lot of characters with 5 wounds, but when my vehicle's only got 6 total, they go down pretty quickly too. But that was a good game, good, well-fought match against Oscar, like always. And I mean, I wish the game had ended in turn 5, but sometimes that's just the way it rolls. All right, thanks for watching.